Welcome back to the channel. In the previous video I had discussed the mechanics most useful in PvP that will allow you to be more effective. I said there that potency does not extend the length of the dot, but after comments from viewers I decided to check it again, and I have to admit that I was wrong, so thank you for pointing out my mistake. Previously, I tested it on a smaller difference between the statistics. As a result, it was too small to see the differences, so I mistakenly assumed it didn't work that way. Of course, this is my fault and I apologize for that. However, if you want to see how it really works, then I invite you to continue watching. I think it's worth in-depth explaining. Let's check it on the bleeding of the spikes. According to the description, this effect should last 3 seconds. My potency is roughly the same as the opponent's resistance. So let's count how many times the bleeding will inflict damage. As you can see, at a ratio of 1:1 dot ticks for times, including the first time right after using the skill. So let's increase our potency to 514 over the opponent's resistance, which gives 28% extra duration. As you can see, it is still not enough. Bleeding still inflicts damage for times. Widening the gap to 546 points still makes no difference. The percentage remains the same. We still have only for ticks. Only after reaching a 30% increase in duration, which forces us to reach a huge amount of potency, way over 600, allows us to get an extra tick of bleeding. So as long as the dot is not increased by a full 1 second, then the effect will not occur. But how does it work the other way with resistance? Do we have to get a full second to reduce the duration by 1 tick? Let's see. As you can see, we are 3% below the resistance of the enemy. Let's see if it makes any difference. As you can see, bleeding no longer deals damage for times. It is now reduced to 3. The damage value in 1 tick remains the same, so just a small amount of resistance over potency is enough to effectively reduce the number of ticks. So for something that lasts 3 seconds, we need over 600 potency more to increase the duration by 1 second, or a small amount of resistance to reduce by 1 second. So the conclusion is simple. As a normal player, you are not able to achieve enough potency to make your dots more effective against stronger players. It is much easier to protect against them by investing in resistance. Remember that in the case of dots that last longer, for example 6 seconds, it will be a little bit easier to achieve extra tick, but is it worth it? I don't think so. This is another mechanic that will only work if you are dealing with a much weaker opponent. And if you are using this as a free-to-play or low-spender player, then you must expect reduced damage and reduced duration for your skills. These double weaken dots should make you wonder if it's worth using builds based on such skills. Personally, I prefer to be resistant, and this makes resistance even more valuable because it significantly reduces damage, especially from much stronger players. For more, I encourage you to watch the previous video. And as always, thanks for watching.